The Denver Nuggets are your 2023 NBA champs. And after being overlooked and discredited for the body of work that they put during the regular season, and not being picked by basically anyone to come out of the West and win the championship, they have shut everybody up and crowned themselves. And they are the last team standing. They are champions. A 47-year drought for the franchise is now over, and they are NBA champs. They've shut everyone up, and Nikola Jokic has also shut everybody up. There was talks of Nikola Jokic being the worst MVP of all time. He was discredited. There was discourse around him and the Nuggets. Is he even a good enough player to take them all the way? Take them to the championship. Take them to the promised land. And now he's cemented himself as one of the best centers of all time. As if he wasn't already. He should have been on that list for many people. But now it's his crowning moment. And the culmination of those two MVPs and the heartbreak in previous years during the playoffs and not having Murray, his running partner, he can finally crown himself as one of the greatest centers of all time that this sport has ever seen. And he is now objectively the best player in the NBA right now in the world. And he's shown you exactly why. In this game too, in this winning game. 10 points in the fourth quarter to lead his team to the crown. And he just got it done. Same with Jamal Murray and all those role players. They just kept fighting and they walked their way through the West. They completely walked it through. They only lost 4 games throughout the whole playoffs. 4 games. And it shows you why they were the best team in a Western Conference for the whole regular season. Even though nobody picked them. It didn't matter to them. They went and got the job done. And they're the NBA champions now. You have to feel for the Miami Heat. They were overmatched. I don't think there was anything that they could have done to win this series, no matter how hard they played and with how much effort or energy, or no matter what Jimmy Butler could do. I don't think he could have got them over the line. The Nuggets were a better team, by far a better team, and for once, Miami Heat have not been the better team for 3 series and in this Cinderella run. But Denver Nuggets and Nikola Jokic show exactly why a better team should be beating the Miami Heat. They don't have the talent, and they don't have the players or the number of talented players to win an NBA championship. I mean, well and truly, it is the epitome of a Cinderella run. But all Cinderella runs have to come to an end at some point. Some end up in a championship and some don't. But it doesn't mean it wasn't an incredible, odds-defying run. I mean, it was. Miami Heat were not meant to be here. They were 2 minutes away from losing to the Chicago Bulls in the second play-in game and not making the playoffs at all. And now, their run is up. They are runners-up. They came second. They were the second best team in the NBA. It just goes to show how much effort and good coaching and having the right fit with great role players who play hard can get you far. Sometimes it's not about having 3 like a super team and having 3 all-star or MVP capable talents. Sometimes it's just about playing hard and having the right pieces around you to get you to the promised land. And they didn't quite do it, but they were right there. They were right there. Now I want to move on from this championship, and I sort of want to look forward, because Jamal Murray is 28. Jokic is 28. Murray is 26, and Porter Jr. is 24. And they're not going anywhere. And some of those role players are also tied down to contracts right now as well. Bruce Brown will probably get paid, and the Nuggets can't bring him back. But a lot of these pieces that helped them win the championship will be right back. And I think that a dynasty is loading here. Like, a dynasty is a very, very real possibility for the Nuggets. And it might not even be one. It could be 2, 3, 4, 5. The Denver Nuggets are loaded up to be the new NBA Dynasty and dominate the league for years and years to come. But I guarantee you, no one will say that. I mean, there'll be talks of it. They'll be like, maybe the Denver Nuggets could be the new dynasty. But no one really believes it. I mean, they were the best team in the West for the whole season. They were the number 1 seed. They were playing great basketball. No one else in a Western Conference looked anywhere near them. They were miles and away the best team in the Western Conference. But nobody had them coming out the West. I mean, there was talks of if the Lakers went down to the 8th seed from losing one playing game and winning the second, that they were going to beat the Nuggets. Nobody thought that the Nuggets would just walk the league or walk the Western Conference like they did. And it seems stupid, and it seems like a disservice to their body of work that they put throughout the regular season. They were the best team in a Western Conference, yet nobody picked them to even get out of the first round. Some people didn't even pick them. And now they're NBA champions. Now they're NBA champs, and they were quite easily NBA champions. And, looking forward to next season or the next couple seasons, even I was thinking, well, the Clippers with their dynamic duo, if Paul George and Kawhi Leonard are healthy, they're an amazing team. The Suns are only going to get better with an offseason under the belts of Devin Booker and Kevin Durant. They can play together for a whole year and build the chemistry. The Warriors are going to be back. Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green. As long as Steph Curry is on the Warriors franchise, they are going to look to compete. The Lakers, they're always going to try and compete as long as LeBron James is there. The Sacramento Kings are on the come up. Memphis Grizzlies, Ja Morant, we don't know what's happening with him and the suspension, but they're also a contending team. And there's teams like the Pelicans or the Mavericks. All these teams, and the West looks deep. And there's so much parity around the league. And teams like the Milwaukee Bucks and the Boston Celtics were the favorites to win the championship this season, and almost unanimously they were the 2 teams that most people picked to win the championship, and they showed their flaws and they showed their shortcomings and how they might not even be good enough to win a championship. And so I think that's why people don't want to look at the Denver Nuggets and say they can walk through the West again and win a championship again from versus whoever comes out of the East. Because there is a lot of parity in the West, but this was the exact same conversation that we had at the start of this playoffs. The Warriors still have Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and Steph Curry. The Suns have Durant, Booker, and Paul, and Ayton. They're the stars of the team. They will easily knock off the Nuggets. The Clippers have Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. This was the exact same conversations that we were having before the playoffs, where we said, well, against those teams, the Nuggets won't be able to do it. They can't do it and beat these almost behemoth big market teams. And we're having the same conversation about the next season or the season after. So who's to say they can't do it again? I mean, it's the same conversation. And I think it has to do with like who they are as a franchise and who their star player is. It's Nikola Jokic. He is not a loud player. They are not a loud franchise. Nikola Jokic will never be the face of the league. Unfortunately, he may be the best player, but he'll never be the face of the league. He's not loud enough to be the face of the league. It's just how people look at Jokic and the Nuggets. And it's no discredit to Jokic. He is the best player in the world. But that's just not how he's looked at. The media never covers him like that. NBA Twitter doesn't even cover him like that. But people know People should know that Jokic is the best player in the world and that the Denver Nuggets are a dynasty that is loading. The Denver Nuggets are poised to win 4 championships on the trot. They have the resources, they have the players, and they have this all-time talent in Nikola Jokic to do it. So I don't see how or why anybody could say that the Denver Nuggets aren't a dynasty that is coming to dominate the league. They most definitely are. And Nikola Jokic won't stop here. They won't stop here. I think we will, in due time, in extremely due time, just like how we discredited them at the start of this playoffs, I think we'll see in due time that they'll shut everyone back up again. And I think they'll go back to back and win the title. Unless, barring something crazy happens, player empowerment is at an all-time high. Super teams are being created just like that. So who knows? You could have a team with LeBron James and Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic in the matter of one night. And that could change everything. That could shift the paradigm. But I don't see how the Denver Nuggets can be discredited again and overlooked again. I mean, they could be the best team in the West again the next year, and they still probably won't be looked at as contenders or likely to win the NBA championship. But off the back of this season, off the back of the discourse that they shut out and put to bed, and crowning themselves as NBA champions, as the last team standing, this is a dynasty that is coming, and it is fast approaching the NBA, and it will wreak havoc on all other teams. And we might see 2, 3, 4 championships or 2, 3, 4 NBA Finals MVPs in the hand of Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets.